So, ladies and gentlemen, this will be our last RO-Scale Rails of Unionville video over here. It was one day that tomorrow it's going to be New Year's Day or sometimes as well. And before this, sometimes for a New Year's celebration around here before this. And this is eventually after Christmas, but exactly, it was after blizzard storms around here for this one. This is the new Union Pacific excursion cars that get taken over by the Union Pacific Challenger. So, I'll make things in another attempt in order to start to get a little bit slow. It was currently a little bit loud when I ever try to start to roll on for to do this. So this is our last roll on for to do so. And so this train about the Union Pacific Challenger doesn't look like that. Because I know this train could be something like this. And because why is the headlight sitting on top of this? This could not be the Union Pacific Challenger or like the streamlined version of itself. And it was sitting on top of its nose about the boiler. Well, this is actually very bizarre of this train. But I'll be slowing down into the coupling for this thing as well. So let's do a coupling cruise and we'll connect one of these trains instead of the tender or additional tender around here. So this is the Union Pacific excursion cars that someone was picked up from that thing as well. I'm probably sure it was someone picked up from RO-Scale Sandbox. And I know I should have been able to be re-added over here for sometimes as well. So I would not believe that this train of this thing I would absolutely going to be take on a few steps around here to and cruising along for one of these cars. As the train couples, then it's absolutely gonna be ready for. As the train moves on for a little bit as well, so it will be taking in a few hours until this train will eventually going to be reached to the station. And this is absolutely, it's not going to be for that fun over here. Alright, it's going to be coupled a little bit until this train could be eventually going to move forward a little bit for this time. Okay, I coupled all of these rail cars of the Union Pacific excursion train. So, I'll be right back in a few couple of minutes around here until the train is arrived. So, I'll be typed to 0. And so the train will be absolutely moving a little bit forward. This will be taking in a much few hours. But I cannot believe this is the new excursion train. But I'll attempt something even better. Then I never realized that I gotta be pulling around of these cars. Well, the frame drops so quickly around here for themselves because every passenger's around here for this one. So this is the old Union Pacific passenger cars, a little bit for this one. These are the old Union Pacific excursion cars that things are going to get disappeared for a little bit for this one. It might going to be replaced with something even more longer than I never expected. Ported from Union Pacific a little bit for this one. I'm pretty sure it was ported from RO-Scale Sandbox. And except for this caboose, that's completely added or remodeled version around here. So this is the remodeled version about the Union Pacific excursion cars, but seems that sometimes there must be a little bit missing detail around here, because I couldn't able to be rejoining the game and I wasn't able to spawn again with that thing on the penthouse car. So let's give ourselves around here to start rolling along, and I will let go around here for this thing. So the train have started to move a little bit on, as the rail cars could actually going that fast. This should actually really loud as possible. So the train has been departed early, and it will not go into derail as possible. So we're gonna keep this train on eye on this one, and so the train could actually felt a little bit slow. So the train will be absolutely going a little bit faster, but unfortunately this caused a derail function, of course. But we really think things are about to go derail as well. I have seen them in the comments, that's why it's too fast, because you derailed cars or some sort of like this as well. And this is absolutely because of this one incident that led to the train's derail or causing it for demise. So let's just try to get things a little bit quicker over here, and we're absolutely going to keep an eye on this train. Of course, this is eventually going to get a little bit faster, of course. And so the train is passing by. We hear the railroad crossings a little bit. We're not able to use the whistle because the train has just ran slowly. And of course, it's going to be passing by the town. And this is not going to be alright for this time. So I'm just going to head out, and we're just going to be going over here. And so you know what to do. I'm still going to roll on about of this thing. So the next couple of stops around here, so I'll still keep an eye on him. Right? So I'm just still going to continue on the way its journey, and even this. And for this one, okay, the train didn't actually derailed long ago, because it runs so a little bit smooth, and the train will be arrived safely. And so is the Union Pacific Challenger ready until the train could hit the point. But I'll be alright around here for this thing. And so the Union Pacific Challenger that we're waiting for, it's going to be taking a little bit of a while. So since the train will be arriving on time without speeding. So that's the only rule that to do this as well before further developments about this train. Even though I'm not going to be using the whistle anyway. And here comes that train, a little bit that fast. But also, I'm going to turn on that light. Oh well, this train isn't actually going to be so fast anyway. And I'm just going to be set to 0, so the train could be even much faster than I probably should. And here it is. I should keep the train turning on the headlights. But I just did in one way. And so, the Union Pacific Challenger is on its way, ready for departure. And we're about to see what's going on, and looks like we're gonna be sounding the whistle first. Looks like there must be a little bit problem in the Union Pacific Challenger, but we wouldn't believe these rail cars sounded like even a little bit big as well. So let's see we eventually going to turn off with that. And so the train has been departed a little bit anyway, but looks like I may not going as so fast as possible, but looks like the Challenger was absolutely on its way really fast. I should be able to better check on the 844. And this is eventually still okay around here for this one. Hopefully this train heads over to the intersection. I better hurry on. Come on. It did not work. So I better stop this train immediately. Oh jeez, this is not really good. Oh no. Oh god. This train got running away. Oh! Did I just turn transparent around here for this one? Uh-oh. I don't really think the train gotten so fast. I'm not very sure. It was too late for me. And I just did a mistake of this train. I should able to move a little bit back. This is not going to be okay with that train. So, definitely not that quick. So, I really think this train may run late. So, it will be really okay for this. So the train will eventually going for a complete stop and make it on time with that. So the line is absolutely already ready and it's completely ready to go. Now, I may not actually going to keep an eye on Union Pacific Challenger because sometimes it was completely derailed. So the train is absolutely continues to keep on going forward, but I'm not sure that I should absolutely going to be teleporting around here for one of these. So I may not actually see for one of these trains. Hopefully the Union Pacific Challenger is going to get on to that side of that thing. And I think the Union Pacific Challenger is still keeping on rolling. So I have seen this train that she's okay, but even though And let's head it back into the Union Pacific Challenger. I'm not sure. Let's head it back to the FEF unit by the 844. And this is not going to get always for a little bit itself. Now the train is eventually going to be arriving at the station. So we're still not actually free to get all along for about here until the train will eventually arrive in Unionville Station. The Unionville Union Station. So, this is a train that we're headed for around here. So the excursion trains could eventually going into here. That Union Pacific Challenger will be arrive on this one. So, alright. This should be okay for around here. And so, the Union Pacific FEF 4 is eventually going to be making itself very slow. So, I just tried to make things a little bit careful. It won't be necessary as well before the train could eventually derail itself apart. And that's how the train made it to another side. They won't have enough for the incident, so I just completely let go around here for itself. So I just keep on this thing already running around here. And so the Union Pacific Challenger could go on this one. Alright, the train is absolutely being arrived at the station. But even though it's snow, like, probably for this time as well. So, but that means it's absolutely running like a Polar Express, but it's not real. It's just a Union Pacific train. Thankfully, the train arrives safely and slowly. That's right, everybody. Looks like we're not gonna be end of this video, but until we're going to keep an eye on the Union Pacific Challenger as the passengers will eventually getting off the train. Of course, that won't be necessary. It looks like I'm going to make a full stop on time. And the passengers have finally leaving the train as well. Unless something isn't going to be that right. So the Union Pacific Challenger is eventually going to get all over to do this as well. I'm not putting on reverse. It looks like the train have eventually arrived. We're not seeing the top speed of the train, but looks like I may not able to be reaching for itself. So let's get down into the Union Pacific Challenger. And so it has already safely arrived, and the passengers are getting off the train safely. Now that I see the Union Pacific Challenger is absolutely going a little bit slow, but however, it's going to get a little bit pretty fast. Oh geez. So let's get up to speed. And this will not able to be possible as well. So once I just turn off for this time as well, as the train goes a little bit faster as well, beyond the passenger cars as well. As those rail cars sounds like this definitely actually sounds even working around here for just like that. Also, I have turned the mouse cruiser off before I came back to Comic Studio anyway for just like this. It's not a caboose, it's an observation car around here, right behind at the tail of the train. So, thankfully this train is going to be arrived at something. No whistles intended around here for this one. Especially, even though Union Pacific Big Boy was absolutely pretty big as well. Nothing possible is going to be look like this as well. So the big boy could cost Game Pass as well. I may not actually came onto the Game Pass yard, and which is not for administrations, so these guys could absolutely already purchase the Game Passes as well. Because, you know, around of this game around here, I'm not gonna close this game so much before I'll end of this video, and the link of this game is in description below. Just leave a like of this game if you're probably going to be run some trains before it's going to be taken down for something else. And that time, Roblox is getting serious about this strategy like this. So the train could absolutely going to run a little bit slowly, what it is. There must be a soft chugging sound and rail car sounds. Jeez, that wasn't going to get a little bit for something as well. Especially this video have me running about 20 minutes. That's right, it's over 20 minutes of this video. I'll slow this train down. And this won't able to be happening again around here with the train. So, this is it. It won't be going to be necessary as well, as the train could head around here for the top speed. This may not actually going to work, because of this train may not going to be so fast. But this is already going to be for something that I just fought for. So, this is absolutely, I'm not very sure. Hopefully this train that will see what happens. Oh god, this is not going to be a little bit alright. So, it's still alright for this. The Union Pacific rail cars was absolutely colliding terribly. This won't actually going to be necessary as well. So, it was alright of these trains. And I'm sure the Union Pacific Challenger is going to be on that lane. So, it actually made it on time, while the Union Pacific 844 was sitting here in a few seconds short. I wait right behind. It's still safe to do this as well. It was totally okay for around here with this train. But aren't like the Union Pacific around of this headlight. That definitely looked like a Norfolk and Western locomotive or something as well. Hopefully that Carol cookie has been there that since the train's arrival. I'll turn on for this thing as well for the DCC address. I'm not pretty sure that the train could be eventually stopping on time. So, this is eventually okay for round of this train. And so, the train has finally stopped here on time. Oh geez, before I'll end of this video, I probably should that I'm just going to fix this problem. So the train will be passing over here for these high-speed trains as well. Longer trains could be for much more like an excursion trains. So that was the end of this video of this thing as well. For the very last time, I'm probably going to be saying goodbye to RO-Scale Rails of Unionville and many games as possibly that I just going to say around here. Unless it's too late for me because of age estimation update has just completely quick for a little bit amount of time as well. So just leave a like of this game, probably for just like this. And I haven't absolutely going to be for saying for this in the last video for somewhere over here. So thankfully, this is I absolutely going to be signing off around here for this time, and I'll talk to you mini lads and rail fanners all later. And I wouldn't absolutely able to say around here for this one, so it finally goes to save around here for this one. So, and thankfully, this is probably for a little bit good as well. So that's right. I may end of this video for pretty much, and we won't able to be talking for a little bit long time as well. So, thanks for watching, and have a nice day, rail fanners as well, before the new year starts. And it was absolutely going to be that you have 24 hours before New Year. And things were going to be changing the new laws in California by early 2026. So, thanks again, and that's all that we have time for today.